Hey guys, alright, so here's my discussion for Colorado State University's first official forecast for the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. Alright, so here is the Weather Channel's article relating to that. So, title 2021 Atlantic hurricane season expected to be more active than normal, Colorado State University Outlook says. Obviously, they have a video here discussing it. But let's scroll down here. Here we go. 1991 to 2020 average. The new average of named storms, in fact, has increased again to 15 total named storms for an Atlantic hurricane season. Impressive. Because, I want to make note of that as well, because the Wikipedia page for the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season says the average total named storm count between 1991 and 2020 was 14. So, it's gone up a little bit again. Now, the average hurricanes between the 1991 to 2020 average, 7. That's one higher than the previous 30-year average. Category 3 or higher, 3 on average, so about the same as the previous 30 years, but it's very interesting to take note of. Here's Colorado State University's forecast. 17 named storms. 17 named storms would also get us very close to the end of the conventional naming list if we were to get that 17 named storms. Very interesting. 8 hurricanes, it's pretty substantial as well. 4 major hurricanes as well, slightly above the average. So they're calling for generally a slightly above average Atlantic hurricane season. And obviously, of course, no one was going to at all predict even their first predictions anywhere compared to last year. I don't think we will ever have to worry about that moving forward during this year's Atlantic hurricane season, unless something truly, truly crazy happens. But that doesn't look likely. Now, here's something interesting here. It says, though the official Atlantic hurricane season runs from June through November, storms can occasionally develop outside those months, as was the case in the previous 6 seasons. And 10 of the past 18 seasons since 2003. That's actually substantial. That is also very substantial to take note of. In 2020, tropical storms Arthur and Bertha each formed in mid to late May. So here's the 2020's 11 landfalls. By the way, it used to be 12, but the NHC did a reanalysis on Marco, and they realized that it came just south of making landfall on that very, very south. What is that? Eastern portion of Louisiana there. So still 11 landfalls, beats the old record of 9 set in 1916. Still a very crazy, insane amount of landfalls. I was like, wow, that is truly something. So here's something very, very interesting. Here's the mid-March 2021 CPC model-based probabilistic ENSO forecast. They updated it. March, April, May, that 3-month period. Now, obviously, we're in April. We still need May to really see how this 3-month chunk really looked. But it seems like we're still in a La Nina. But it looks like we enter May, especially June. They're already forecasting us to be in neutral. Now, it looks like, at this point, that we'll be in neutral pretty much the entirety of the Atlantic hurricane season. That's still substantial, because neutral and La Nina both can cause, especially La Nina, can cause above average amounts of tropical cyclone activity. Obviously, that was the extreme case, but still definitely the case with last year's season. But even though we're transitioning from La Nina to neutral for this year's Atlantic hurricane season, depends on how strong that neutral ends up being, because we could still, even with transition to neutral, we could definitely also see a very active Atlantic hurricane season. It's already forecast to be slightly above average, but that's very interesting. You can see actually as well here, once we get to the May, June, July, and onwards, 3-month chunk periods through November, December, January, moving into 2022, their new forecast has the El Nino potential really rising, most substantial, in fact, rising for the El Nino chances that we've seen in, I think, at least 4 to 6 months. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section, but I believe that is the case. Here is Philip Klotzbach's. He's the main chief meteorologist there at Colorado State University that helps put out Colorado State University's Atlantic hurricane season forecast each year. And in his, this is probably his latest tweet, from 10:25 in the morning, this morning, He says the subtropical Atlantic is generally warmer than normal, and tropical Atlantic is near average. The region with above normal SSTs, that's sea surface temperatures, just so everyone knows, in Atlantic correlates fairly well with typical March SST patterns associated with above normal hurricane seasons. Very interesting there. Let's actually click on that tweet, go to Twitter, check this tweet out. Here we go. Let's click on this first image. Look at that. In fact, most of the Caribbean, not just the eastern part, but even extending into the central Caribbean, has some pretty substantially high above the average SST anomalies there, as well as throughout the MDR, pretty much, and as well pretty far offshore the east coast, but still in the far out general Atlantic, showing above average, some above average sea surface temperature anomalies, as well as some bits in the Gulf as well, reporting above average SST anomalies. Very interesting. And that's obviously, that is not good. And correct me if I'm wrong as well in the comment section, but I think this is even stronger of an outlook being put out with how the March SST anomalies are currently for this year than they were just last year. So that's definitely not a good thing. Here is the sea surface temperature anomalies kind of in general with the actual degrees put here. And and this is from the 30-year climatology average from 1990 to 2019. So this is kind of compared to that average, 28-day average, compared to that 30-year average or so. Or no, sorry, 30-year average. Almost was kind of confused on that math there for a second. I am not good at math, just so you guys know. But in any case, you can see along the East Coast, pretty much the entirety of the East Coast, maybe except there for the extreme parts of the Southeast Coast, generally is warming up and being above average in terms of sea surface temperatures. Extremely above average there just off the New England coast to the south and east of New England. That's very interesting. Gulf is about average to maybe slightly above average. Caribbean right now is about average, maybe just slightly above average. Subtropical Atlantic, though, pretty above average, slightly to moderately above average. MDR currently about average. Because you can see generally some splotches kind of at the moment of some above average and below average sea surface temperature anomalies. So I do expect, though, that the MDR generally will continue warming, and we'll see a much more grandeur of lots of above average SST anomalies throughout the entirety of the MDR, as well as the Caribbean, Gulf, and even along the East Coast and subtropical Atlantic. As we move, of course, into definitely the warmer months, through see how April ends up being, and of course, May, June, July, August, September. Obviously, the peak of the hurricane season will definitely be very, very interesting to see how that looks. So, again, what do I think of this forecast? I think that it's definitely a fair forecast. Definitely compares well with AccuWeather's first forecast that they put literally a week ago. Surprisingly, it's only been a week, to be honest. Time has moved so slowly in this whole pandemic time that we've been in over the past year or so. So generally both forecasts kind of line up actually very well. Originally when I first saw this, I gotta say, I tell you, especially with the hurricane and major hurricane forecast they put out, thought they were kind of being a bit conservative. Not too much with their name storm, but mainly with their hurricane and major hurricane forecasts. But now that I more think about it, and as I'm recording this video telling you guys about it, I think it's pretty fair, especially at this point with their first forecast, obviously. Now, I do expect that they will potentially at the very least, up their major hurricane, potentially their hurricane forecast, moving through the hurricane season throughout every time they put out a new forecast. But at this point, it's too early to say for me how their name storm forecast could change moving forward into the hurricane season. But at this point, 17 named storms seems pretty fair. Because we've seen, the past 5-6 years straight above average hurricane seasons, maybe 6, 7, I don't know, around the 6-year consecutive mark, somewhere around that. So it's pretty fair to assume that this year will also be above average to some degree. Slightly above average seems a pretty safe bet at the least at this point. And in fact, let me actually show you. I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you the when they'll release each of their forecasts moving through the rest of this year through the season. This is actually their tropical cyclone, their main tropical cyclone page for Colorado State University. It's called tropical.colostate.edu if you guys want to check this out. So you scroll down, you see forecast, and you click on learn more, and that's where you'll find their forecast. Now, when you look at the average, they still have the 1981 to 2010 average, but you can disregard that. Actually, this is also important that I've actually went on this page to show you guys. The ACE value that they're forecasting at the moment is 150. That's significant. That's slightly above average for compared to the average ACE, which actually no, they list. Oh no, that's the old value. That's 108. That was the old thing. So let me show you on the Wikipedia page. The new average ACE range is right here, 72 to 111 units. That's actually not just slightly above average in terms of ACE. That's moderately to well above average in terms of ACE, now that I think about it, yeah. So that's actually quite substantial. Now, they're forecasting 80 named storm days, 35 hurricane days, and 9 major hurricane days. That's very interesting. You know, of course, that's much harder to predict and everything, so that'll definitely probably be one of the biggest things that'll change with each forecast that they put out. So you scroll to the bottom of this page here. Oh, that was a horrible voice crack, but you scroll to the bottom of the page here, and you can see the next forecast they'll put out is June 3rd. So, you know, about 2 months from now. So a little less than 2 months from now. So that'll be interesting to see what they say then. Right as we get into the third day of the official Atlantic hurricane season. Then they'll release another one a little more than a month after that on July 8th, and then a final one kind of on August 5th. And then after that point, starting August 5th going through October 14th, they'll release 2-week forecasts for the North Atlantic tropical cyclone activity. So that'll be kind of cool to check out as we get towards the peak and latter season, end of season of this year's hurricane season. So, yeah, this is very, very interesting stuff here. So, yeah, generally what I think is this is a pretty fair forecast. I definitely agree with it on most of what they're forecasting. I expect that at the very least, moving forward, their major hurricane forecast will up probably at least a little bit. You know, we'll see. Though I don't know yet about their named storm forecast. That's a little more in the kind of in a gray area. I don't know about that. But what I do know is that at the end of April, in about a few weeks from now, I will release my first official 2021 Atlantic hurricane season forecast. Yeah, down in the comment section, sure, we can battle all you want on that, like, oh, that's still a bit too early to issue your own first forecast. But you know what? Look, it's my decision, and I'm gonna continue to periodically update if I need to every 2-3 months, probably after that point. But yeah, by then I'll put out my first official forecast. Yeah, so. Again, their forecast, definitely agree with it. Definitely falls within the range of AccuWeather's first forecast, so it's working out nicely with how each agency thinks this year's hurricane season might turn out. You know, we'll continue to see when what each new agency thinks as they continue to put it out. I believe I read earlier today the National Hurricane Center will put out their first forecast in like early to mid-May, I believe. So, well, I think that's actually pretty obvious because they'll start releasing their regular tropical weather outlooks May 15th this year. Beginning with this year's hurricane season, they will release their regular tropical weather outlooks May 15th. 2 weeks prior, or around 2 weeks prior to what they did in the past, starting June 1st, which is still the official start of the Atlantic hurricane season. So that's very, very cool. That was another thing that was announced with the World Meteorological Organization's meeting about a few weeks ago in mid-March that they had for 3 days. So, again, this is my discussion for what I think about the Colorado State University's first official 2021 Atlantic hurricane season forecast. Definitely agree with it. Look out for my first official 2021 Atlantic hurricane season forecast at the end of this month or beginning of May. And so that actually should also line up or be just like around that time when the National Hurricane Center puts out its first official forecast. There we go. Yeah, look out for that. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. This was a very, very fun video to make. Let's have a nice, lively discussion down in the comment section, albeit respectful. But yeah, I can't wait to discuss it with you guys down in the comment section. Please consider liking the video down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you are subscribed to my channel, though, please make sure those notification settings are on for my channel. But yeah, again, please consider subscribing to my channel, like the video down below, and let's have a great, fantastic discussion down there in the comment section, but a respectful one as well. So, see you guys in the next video. Bye.